Hi and welcome back to my channel. So my name is Beth, I'm a seamstress and freelance knitwear designer. I make knitting and sewing content here and on Instagram. I've also started posting some TikToks. It's the same name everywhere, Fashion by Beth if you're interested. So yeah, today's just the start of another video and I would like to make some needle cases for my knitting needles. So I guess I'll start off by showing you the sort of situation of how I store my needles at the minute. So I keep everything in this like bag which fits everything in, and the things that I make basically to go in this bag. The issue that I have is like what's going on the inside. So I predominantly use interchangeable Knit Pro knitting needles, and I currently have a couple different sets, but I do also have some fixed circulars and just some normal needles and crochet hooks and stuff. And basically some of the boxes are too big and all of the needles are getting tangled. And also I've recently purchased some DPNs and I've been using them for smaller projects like some gloves, and I quite enjoy using them, so I can see myself buying more sizes in the future. And at the minute they're just in the cardboard boxes that each set came in, so I don't mix up the lengths or I guess the widths. But yeah, so I basically want to make individual cases for each of my sets. So I guess I'll sort of talk you through the sets that I've got and then which ones need cases. So this is the current situation for the DPNs. I do also have another set which is currently in a project. Also, sorry if you can hear traffic, it's really warm today, like out of nowhere, and I have to have the window open because I can't have the fan on. But yeah, I currently have these plus the ones that are currently in a project. So I want to make like one case to put my DPNs in, so like each slot is for like a different size. Then this is the set that I've had for a while. So this is one of the Knit Pro interchangeable sets. I can't remember what exactly these are called. I can't remember if they're the carbons maybe. Whatever they are, they're round. They're not like the cube ones that they have, but these are my metal set, which this is a really nice box, but it is not functional for storage. I feel like the actual shape and hardness of this case, this is what's making it difficult to close the bag. Whereas these sets of Knit Pro, which are the denim editions, they're basically wooden needles. So they're the same needles, but these are the normal length one and these are like the miniatures. I did show these in a recent video, but like just for comparison's sake, these are the short ones and these are the normal length ones. So these guys are fine where they are. This is basically the sort of thing that I want to make for the metal set that I've got, because these just fold up really nicely and you know they're fabric. So this is the same size set of needles as this, but I obviously can't fit, and obviously I've got another random pair that I just bought on like an off chance. They also have these pockets for all of the cables and like the stoppers and stuff, because I don't know how I'm gonna be able to show you this. So this basically lifts up and then I have the cables and that underneath, but again it's just annoying to use. I think if I didn't have all these other sets it would be fine, but with everything else. And then this is the situation after they come out. So I actually have this thing with my punch needles in it, so again that's fine. This has all of my crochet hooks in it, oh god, which again is fine. It serves a purpose. It doesn't take up like too much space or anything, and I know that they're all in here, and I feel like crochet hooks aren't too much of a bother because you just have one for every size that you need, whereas like with DPN you need the whole set of 5 of them, so they need to be kept together. But if I misplace like the odd crochet hook, doesn't really matter. And then I just have literally so many random things in here. So like I have this random, there's obviously another 2 somewhere, another set of these DPNs. These are metal, so like I honestly don't use them, but they still need a home regardless. And then I have this whole set which needs sorting. So these are a set of fixed circulars, just cheap, that I got from Amazon when I first started knitting, but I would like somewhere to put them where they're not all tangled together, because if I pull one thing out of here, like I have to take the whole lot. There's also random like these huge needles, which I needed these for uni for something. I have like a whole range of these, and these are fine loose in the bag, I think, as long as everything else is tidied up. So I basically need to make what, ideally 3 cases, if not 2. So I need one for the DPNs, one for these, and one for the fixed circulars. And basically with the Knit Pro ones, I'd like extra pockets or something to put the cables and the stoppers in, if not like another separate pouch. But I just thought this is something that I could show because it's actually quite an easy thing to make, and it's very functional, and I feel like people that watch me for knitting stuff, like this may still kind of be of use. You can really use any fabric for this, as long as the outside fabric that you use is the same weight or heavier than the inside fabric, really. Obviously you can use interfacing, but that's sort of the general rule of thumb. Your lining fabric needs to be lighter than your main fabric. I think what I'm going to do is do patterns on the outside and then just literally use some of my huge roll of calico that I use for toiling for the inside, because it's quite sturdy and it's also just plain. And the problem is I don't want to not be able to tell what all my needles are because the fabric's too much. So I'm gonna do fun on the outside and then, you know, business on the inside. So I've just been looking through my like ridiculous amount of zips that I have, and I think what I'm gonna go with for the metal set, which is the biggest, is some of this fabric with this zip, which I know is not like, it's not the perfect color match, but it's close enough. So I'll show you my really rough sketch. This probably might not make any sense, but basically I want it to have like a close like this, so like elastic thing and button. So the front just plain, the back I want to have the zipper here, which is like an inside pocket between the lining and the, what's it called, like the outside fabric. And then on the inside just these like sort of narrow like slots to sort of put the needles in. So here I'm just folding down the edge and just sewing it down so that it's not raw, basically at the top of where the slots are going to be, and then just lining it up with the back piece. Here I'm just literally drawing out the lines that I'm going to sew on in a second, where each of the different slots are going to be. And basically I made one side thinner because obviously the needles are smaller, and then the other side for the bigger needles a little bit thicker, but just literally sewing down in straight lines across every single one of the lines that we just drew out. And then here I just wanted to check that the biggest size that I had fit, because if that size fit then it was going to be fine. So here I'm just cutting out the main fabric, and it's kind of got these slanted corners because I'm going to do them mitered. And here I'm just literally drawing out where the zip's going to go, but you can sort of see here how they're going to fold in and kind of come into a point. So I was literally just sewing all 4 of them together, and then you'll be able to see here it's so that the main fabric comes over onto the inside. So this is where I started putting the zip in, and spoiler, this is where I messed it up. My car was in the garage and I couldn't go and get another zip, so I was using one that I had on hand, and it was an invisible zipper, and basically I just didn't cut my pattern accordingly. So I will get into that in a second, but yeah, I was just putting the zip in the pocket bag before I realised that it skewed my measurement too much, so I didn't actually end up finishing this. So I thought I could finesse like using this zip, which is not meant for this. Don't use an invisible zipper for this. I just used mine because it was pink, but it's skewed the like length measurement too much. So now that I'm putting in this inside bit, these bits now don't match because the outside measurement's wrong. But essentially you can get the gist of how this is like meant to come out. So the inside's got these mitered corners, and so when you fold it, the like calico isn't all the way up to the edge. It's got like a bit of a border, and then yeah, that was meant to be the back and then the front, but I think I'm gonna have to put this on hold until I get my car back and I can actually go and buy a correct zipper for this, which is annoying, but like I also need to clean up this disaster behind me basically. I mean, I think the colour looks alright. It's just, yeah, this isn't what it's made for, and yeah, that whole pocket in there. So basically the pocket is gonna like run the whole way up through the entire case. So like on the inside it's, yeah, the whole way back. And then this pen, by the way, it irons off, so there wouldn't be all of these like lines, but if you can imagine, needles go in here. Yeah, cute, but we will faff with this another day. For now, I need to clear up. I do love this fabric. I really want to make a dress in this fabric. Anyway, so I guess picking up where my last vlog left off, I have just casted off the body for this cardigan. So I guess I'll show you what it looks like currently, in case you missed that one as well. This is knit in the Onling #1 wool. This was actually gifted to me by the company, which is like literally incredible. This yarn is like the softest thing I've ever felt in my life, although I will say, get fluff on everything. Like this does shed like crazy. I'm not holding this with a mohair or anything, but I have just casted off this bottom rib, and I'm about to pick up stitches for the button band and then the neckline. If you did miss the last one, you might have missed that I was very indecisive about this sleeve. So I started doing a sleeve, it was too big, and knit this one, and I feel like this might be too small as in the increase or the decreases. So I'm gonna finish up this bit. I can't even wear this, it's so hot. But yeah, gonna finish the body and then get to making a decision on the sleeve. This has taken me so long to knit because this is a lot finer than I'm used to knitting with. I'm knitting this on 4mm and then the ribbing's on 3mm. Also, like, this bit's kind of flaring, but when I block it, I'm gonna stretch it out anyway. So yeah, I need to keep going on this so that we can make a decision about the sleeves. I have literally just casted off the all of the ribbing around the sort of front opening. I did this folded collar, which obviously I haven't sewn down, as you can see, and I've put on these buttons, which are so nice. They're like these little like kind of metal flowers. But what I'm thinking is I might block this at this stage, because basically it's really cinching in and I feel like it's getting hard to tell how it's gonna look. So that's why I put the buttons on, because I like to block cardigans when they're buttoned so that I can make sure it kind of fits accordingly, because like this looks kind of ridiculous as it is right now, because the ribbing cinches so much, whereas I'm hoping it will sort of just be more oversized. And I want to block this sleeve so that I can tell if I'm going to knit the other one the same, or if I'm going to frog this and do a different sleeve design. But yeah, this knits up so nice. I'm just hoping it will hold its shape when it's blocked, so it doesn't have all this cinching, because I did want this to be like a bit oversized, and currently this is just not giving the right fit. So I'm gonna take this off because it's really hot. But yeah, gonna block this and like just work on some little other whips and things, maybe do some gauge swatches before this is finished drying. But yeah, it's all 2x2 rib as well. I just think this looks so nice and uniform. Like, I'm really proud of my tension, especially on this ribbing. Like I said, this is an block chair. I think the 3mm for the rib was like a good shout, to be honest, going down like a whole needle size. And I love how chunky this neck is, because I feel like it does cinch everything up. I'm just hoping that it's not too small, because this is what the neckline looks like before blocking, but obviously it does have like a lot of stretch. I made sure not to cast off on the inside too tightly, but yeah, we're gonna block this. Here's just like a flat lay of it as well. You can kind of see more where I've done shaping, like around the armhole and the neck. And I'm actually going to remember to take measurements before blocking this time, so I'm taking that as a win. So since my cardigan is currently blocking, I of course need to cast something else on to work on. Normally I actually wouldn't, but my car is in the garage. It broke down and I haven't been able to get to work for 2 days, and I'm not going to be able to get there tomorrow either, so I just so happen to have more free time. So basically these are the ones that I have swatched with. So this is the Rowan Soft Yak, and this is the Rowan Island Blend in the Fine. I'm actually holding this double. So this, I can't remember what this stitch was called. It's in a book I've been looking at. And this is obviously just plain stockinette. I think I'm going to go with this one purely because it's on bigger needles. This is on 4mm needles, which is the same as the Onlin cardigan. And I think I need to give my hands a bit of a break. And this is on 5, I believe. So, what does that say? Yeah, that's on 5. So I think we're going to go ahead with this one and cast something new on. So she is fresh off of the blocking mats, my halfway block. I am so gassed about this. I can't believe how much bigger and drapier this got just from blocking. And like the back's really level, the collar's super nice, lays like, in my opinion, really nice like around the neckline. Obviously I still got these little bits that I need to sew up, but like, look at the difference in this sleeve. I can't believe how much longer it got, and like wider as well. So when I blocked it, I only like I basically pinned and like stretched this to hell, but I didn't really stretch it any like lengthwise. This is just what it did naturally with like the weight of the water, but this is so much more flush. And like before, this was really bunching up because of this ribbing, but it's so flat. I'm just gonna stand over here. But yeah, it's, oh my god, it's literally the softest thing ever as well. And I feel like it sort of sheds less after I've washed and blocked it, we will see if that is the case. But yeah, when I was knitting this, it does shed like crazy, I will say. But I'm so excited by this. And I'm literally obsessed with these little buttons. They're just like the cutest thing ever. And because I want to do like a floral design all over it, I thought they were just so cute to match. I love the silver with the white as well. Like I always wear silver jewellery, but I'm amazed every time. The only thing is, in all honesty, I do still wish that this armhole was like a smidge smaller. Like basically here, I wish that this was just straight across instead of down a little bit, but you know what, it just does not bother me enough to rip well, to change the armholes I would literally have to rip back the whole body to here, and there is no way, because I'd have to take off the neckline, all of this, rip back all of this. It doesn't bother me enough. But yeah, I can't believe I've knit this with my own two hands, so I'm excited to keep going on it. However, saying that, I have started knitting on this because I needed something while that was blocking basically. So this is just going to be a really plain, simple like stockinette jumper. See if I can like, yeah, so this is this is literally the progress that I have made on this. Literally just doing this neck section, and then obviously this is really curling, but that's where I'm gonna connect the sleeves. This is knit with the Rowan Island Blend Fine held double. This is actually really nice on its own. Like I haven't held this with anything. It's not really soft like the other one, but it's not itchy or anything whatsoever. It just, I don't know. I feel like it's one of them fabrics that like just doesn't bother you in any way, or at least for me. But yeah, I feel like I'm on a roll with this, and I really want to, basically tonight the plan is I'm gonna finish knitting this side of the neckline, connect, knit down to where it connects with the back. It's so hard to show stockinette because it's so curly, and then hopefully connecting around, because this knits up so quick, even though it's only one needle size bigger than the other one. So this is knit on I'm knitting this on a 5mm needle, I believe. Yeah, the other one's a 4, but my god, it literally just knits up so much quicker. I can't even explain. But yeah, really nice color. It's, I don't know, it's not like a completely flat color, which I quite like. But yeah, just wanted to show off the other cardigan, and I'm gonna get knitting. You'll have to excuse the lighting because it's, I think, like 8 o'clock. It's currently Sunday. I had a lot of plans to do knitting today, however I have been pretty violently hungover, so haven't done much. However, Drops are currently having a sale, another one, on some of the like fan favorite yarns, and I really wanted to pick up some mohair purely because like Drops is obviously quite affordable, but mohair can get pretty expensive, and so I like to get it when it goes on sale. And I have like basically this whole bag of like sort of leftover mohair that I thought I could incorporate into like a project, but I wanted to get maybe like 1 or 2 more colours to go with it. And also like I have these random balls of, sorry if the camera's shaking, it's like on the bed. These are some balls of vintage yarn that my local like wool shop was selling last year, and they're all like acrylic and mohair mixes, so I've been hesitant to use them, and they're also like significantly thicker than like a normal strand of mohair. See if I can, so it's hard to incorporate them into a mohair project because I'd have to use something to bulk up the weight of the mohair to use them all together. The other thing is, because they're an acrylic mix, they're actually pretty soft, but obviously it means that you can't block it as well because it's not 100% natural, so I've been hesitant to knit them. However, I haven't crocheted anything in a while, And last year I made a crochet skirt, which I guess I should probably show for context. So this was the skirt that I made, and it's in this really nice sort of like, I don't know if you'd call this like a florally print, but it's like quite a nice stitch. This was, I guess this is the front actually, this was crocheted in a cotton. I wore this as like a bikini cover up when I was on holiday. It's just got like a drawstring waist. But yeah, I really liked this stitch, and I thought maybe I could do something like this with the mohair. So I made like this little sample. This is using one strand of mohair. I don't know how well that you're going to be able to see this actually, but I can't decide if I like it or not. I mean, obviously I haven't actually made that big of a sample, but yeah, I just thought this might be like a cool kind of texture for like a cardigan or something. I don't know, I'm like torn, but either way, this is like a potential. But then when I did a sample with this, because it's thicker, it came out way bigger. So again, I'd either have to bulk this up or use the normal mohair separately, and then this is a different project. But then also, so the alpaca is on sale as well, and I used that before. These were the colours. These are just some of the scraps that I had left over from that jumper, but I quite like the combination. It's pretty soft actually. So I've just literally made up this tiny little like granny square just to see how it works up, because I think the thing that was throwing me off with this, if I sort of hold them side by side, it's just that the actual, obviously the stitches are quite like open, like even just between sort of like in the actual stitch. But obviously alpaca yarn sort of has a slight fuzz to it anyway, and when I knit it I held 2 strands of the alpaca and 1 strand of the mohair, but this is literally just using 1 strand of each, and I think this makes quite a nice fabric in crochet, because I can I can crochet really quick. Obviously crochet works up quicker anyway, but this is using a 4mm needle, which is my absolute like sweet spot with crochet. Like, it's my favorite hook size. But knitting in 4mm takes me like a million years, so I'm thinking maybe to pick up some of the alpaca and mohair in matching colours and make like a granny square design. So sorry, the camera just fell over, that's why the angle's a bit different. So again, this was something that I made last year, and this was just out of a lot of like acrylic scraps and that I had left over. But I do really like the design of this, so I'm thinking of maybe making one in the alpaca and mohair, so it'll have like a fuzz, and also maybe making the sleeve only 3 squares around instead of 4, just because I can't wear this under anything because the sleeves are so wide. Like, it's fine as over the top, but it limits sort of how much of the year I can actually wear this out of the house. But it's almost like, I mean, it is a cardigan, but it's sort of like a jacket in a way. I really love like the ribbing as well. I think it looks more like a put together garment than you know, just leaving all of the edges like, I don't want to say raw, but you know, like without a finish, which is fine if like that's what you're going for, but I just think it elevates it a bit. And what I'm thinking potentially is, even because this is 1x1 single crochets, but I might even knit the ribbing again. But yeah, I'm currently deciding what colour scheme I want to do, whether I want to do something like this again with sort of like one main colour and then all of the squares alternate, or just do something like just black and white, like really simple. So yeah, about to do some yarn shopping, which is terrible. I've literally just been paid and do not need to be spending money on yarn, but yeah, unfortunately there's a sale and I can't resist. I also have been looking at yarn for one particular garment. So I've never knit colour work before, and it's something that I really want to learn because I really love like ferrule jumpers, and I used to do them a lot on my knitting machine, but I'd love to be able to do them by hand. And there's this one design, I think it's called the Nordic Mix jumper, which I'll put a photo up on the screen if I remember, but I think it's like literally so cool. I love that it's all different sort of patterns mixed together, and maybe it's ambitious for my first colour work piece. However, I'm like a big believer of like make something that you're actually interested in and that you really love, because I think it keeps you more motivated. So I've also been looking at getting some yarn for that. Looking at the recommended yarn, it actually is pretty inexpensive anyway, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I'm trying to decide on colours for that. I'm at the minute thinking potentially like a blue and green, like sort of contrast, but again I don't know whether to go like simple colours because it's a bit of like a busy design, or to just literally go all out. But yeah, I'm about to do some yarn shopping. I also don't know if I've updated on this, so I guess we'll just quickly talk about it now. So this is the start of well, I started this jumper this week because my other project, the Onling cardigan, was blocking and I just wanted something to knit on, and on bigger needles as well. So this is knit using the Rowan Island blend held double. I think I spoke about this before. It was on sale. It's still pretty expensive, but I felt like treating myself, as I often do. So yeah, I've literally just been working on the top yoke. I've just connected for the body. I think I've literally done like 4 or 5 rows, so like this section is tiny, but yeah, I really like the way this is coming out so far. I think the colour's really fun, and yeah, this yarn's really nice as well. Like it's not like itchy whatsoever. I can't remember exactly what the blend is. It's like wool, silk and something else, but yeah, it's actually really nice sort of to the touch. It's not like massively soft, but I think that's sort of a good thing because it feels more like hard wearing almost. So yeah, this is where I'm at. Again, this is like another pattern that I've just designed for myself. That's another thing with the ferrule jumper, is like I've never followed a garment pattern, and apart from I think 2, and one was a test knit for a crochet top, and the other one was it was like a slip over. I think it's on my Instagram. It was sent to me by Wool and the Gang, basically to test out the yarn and like promote the yarn. It was like 3 years ago now, but yeah, I really don't often follow garment patterns. I just like to make them myself. I feel like, I don't know, I get exactly what I want out of it. But yeah, I think it would be nice to just be able to like follow something pretty mindlessly as I'm learning like a whole new technique, and not worry about if it's going to turn out right, and then I can eventually design some of my own ferrule stuff, because I do actually really have like quite a few ideas for like colour work pieces that I want to make. I just don't know how to execute them yet. So yeah, fingers crossed I actually get to that soon, because I really would like to. But it's obviously the middle of summer and we've got a few whips on the go at the minute. So yeah, I want to finish this one and the Onling one, which I actually have here. This is still without a second sleeve. I've just been working, and then obviously been quite hungover today, but yeah, I still can't get over how nicely this blocked out. So just can't wait to make the other one, and then try the surface crochet really. But yeah, it's so soft. Like I actually can't even explain to you how soft and nice this yarn is. It will just get on everything because it's so fluffy. But yeah, I've been rambling for like over 10 minutes now, so I'm gonna go and we'll see what yarn I buy, I guess. So it's Wednesday evening after work. I haven't really updated, I think, since Sunday. That hangover wiped me out after work for like the last 2 days. However, me and my boyfriend are going to Northern Ireland next week. So today's Wednesday, we're going next Wednesday, and I need to have finished 2 pairs of penny gloves by Petite Knit. However, I am also knitting on other things, so it's not going super well. However, I think I probably have shown these before. So I have completely finished 1 glove minus ends and blocking. I'm hoping that if I can finish these all by like Sunday at the latest, that I can wash them, block them, leave them to dry until we go, basically. But this is what they look like. This is in Filicolana Alva. Actually, I have a whole ball of it here. So this is the yarn. You hold 2 strands, and this is colour 147. It's like a, I guess, foresty green. I also need to sew this up because where I picked up stitches was obviously a little bit further from that stitch than it needed to be, but that's fine because there's literally an end on the inside there, so we'll just stitch it up. But I have 1 full glove, 1 full glove just minus the thumb, so it's like 1 inch of, I think it's like 16 stitch row, so won't take very long, whatever. And then I've literally got this far on 1/3, so also, oh, the tension in between, it's fine, I'm hoping it'll block out. But yeah, I have decided that this second pair I'm going to knit a little bit shorter before I start doing the thumb increases, just so I can get through them quicker, basically. Because let me put this back on. These are quite long, I find. So I think I've gone about 2 centimeters shorter, so they'll just sort of be like normal glove length. I mean, it's not that much of a time saver, but in my head it feels like it, because now I can just literally start on the Z creases instead of having to just keep going in the round. But yeah, and honestly, I think if I were to make these for myself, I might make them a bit smaller. I am potentially thinking of making pairs of these as Christmas presents, but I always have the intention to knit gifts, and all like these are, and I hate it every time. It stresses me out so much, even though it shouldn't. But anyway, so this I need to be working on in the next few days. I think it just like, this second pair I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered, because I've already basically knit a whole first pair, so it's just knitting the same thing, well, I guess twice, 3 times, and it's going to be a 4th, but they don't take that long to knit. I don't know why I'm putting it off so much. Probably because I'm working on this next project. Now, I also still need to knit the sleeve on my own cardigan. Have I done that? No. Because I have been working on this, which I think is what I updated in the last clip. I can't remember. So this is where I'm at for my Rowan Island blend jumper. I have been seeing these like rolled necklines all over Pinterest, and I really like the look of them. I wouldn't use them for everything, but I quite like learning a different technique for every garment that I design, because I think it just keeps it interesting and, you know, keeps you learning. And also I like to experiment with different types of ribbing. So like my own cardigan is in 2x2. My raglan that I did recently was 1x1, but I learned Italian bind off. I really love 2x2. That's got to be my favourite for ribbing, but I can't use it on everything. And I saw, yeah, like I said, I saw some quite thick jumpers like this on Pinterest with this rolled collar, and just thought it looked really nice. I know that Petite Knit has, I can't remember what the pattern's called now. I want to say the cloud something, but I also feel like that's not right. But she's recently been doing some rolled edges, like raw edges, and apart from these gloves, I've never knit anything petite knit. Like, I think her stuff's really nice, but I like to make my own patterns. But I actually didn't even see that until I designed this jumper, because I just don't follow her that intently. It's only when I watch other people and they mention it, but we're going off on a tangent here. But yeah, this is how it's coming out so far. So I've done basically the whole of the top yoke. I've been knitting in the round for just over 25 rows. And yeah, I put this neckline on last night. I really like adding necklines to things in this state because I think it gives you more of like a gauge of where things are going to finish. And especially when you get to sleeves, you know how much it's going to be held up by. But I really like this colour. Obviously I like green. But I was getting a little nervous seeing this in hank form, and even without the neckline, but when I tried it on yesterday, I really like this. And it's not like a completely flat colour, like the yarn's not variegated or anything, but it's still, I don't know, I just think it looks nice. But I'm knitting on this one. I shouldn't be, but it's fine. I'm basically going back and forth. So I've been binge watching Poldark on Netflix. I had never watched it before. I've literally think I've watched 4 seasons in like 2 weeks or something, but basically I'm alternating, so I do like an episode of one and then I switch just to try and keep myself engaged with the gloves. And I've also been taking them to work, so that it's the only thing that I have with me to work on my lunch breaks, because we get no signal in the shop, so I can't even like mindlessly scroll. So that forces me for a good like 45 minutes at work to knit. And I mean, these don't take long. I started this last night, like before I went to bed, and I don't even know how many hours of knitting. I would say this is maybe 3, maybe 4, which doesn't look like a lot, but it's knit on quite small needles. But yes, I think my DPN, or double pointed knitting is getting a bit better, apart from it's the cast off on that messes me up a bit. It's really fiddly. But I've knit all of these on DPNs instead of magic loop because I stood on my 3mm needle and it snapped, and my new one only got delivered yesterday of my interchangeables. But I quite like using the DPNs anyway, because it's like a tiny amount of stitches and then a tiny amount of stitches, and then you just like fly around. But anyway, I will update when there is any significant progress. What is it today? It's Wednesday today. I need these finished Sunday. So I'm hoping if I can like get this one finished like maybe tomorrow evening or Friday, and then I can knit the other one Saturday over to Sunday if needs be, block it Sunday, and then they need to be done by Tuesday night. So I think it should be fine. I also need to decide what project to bring with me when I pack, because I don't know whether to bring this, or I have ordered some yarn in the drop sale. I think I said I ordered some alpaca to remake a design that I made last year in acrylic, in crochet, and I'm debating taking that, because where it's granny squares, you're only working on like a small piece at one time. I feel like it's more portable, like on planes and stuff, and like if we go out I only have to take out the balls for the granny squares. I don't have to take like a whole ass jumper, because I'm predicting that this will be significantly bigger by next week. Same with the Onling cardigan, and because it's cream as well and it's a really nice yarn, I'm not convinced I want to be taking that around with me to knit in airports, public transport, out and about. I just feel like that's going to get so dirty, but we'll see. I also want to go yarn shopping. We'll have to see if we can drag the boyfriend into agreeing to that, but anyway, I'll update at some point. So it's the next day and my wool warehouse order was here when I got back from work, so I thought I could show you the colours. This isn't very exciting, honestly. So I got the Drops alpaca and the Drops kid silk mohair. I have knit with this before and it makes quite a like soft combination, but I knit with 2 strands alpaca, 1 strand of mohair, and I'll be crocheting with 1 strand of each this time. So this is what I want to remake. I think I showed this in like the last clip or something, but this is what the colours look like. So it's literally just white and grey. So these look quite different next to each other, but I think that actually when you use them it's not too bad. So this is the mohair in, I think this is chalk, and this is the off-white. I don't know why I didn't order the white. I thought these would be closer together, but you can kind of see it's not like a stark difference, and I feel like this makes this less yellow and this makes this less purple. I don't know how well this is like picking up on camera. And then these are just like in the medium greys. This is colour 0517. I know they have names on the website, but I don't know which one it is. And same with this. So yeah, these are what I got. But yeah, this has like a really nice like halo. You probably can't really see it that well, but yeah, I'm literally just gonna make like a second version of this, and I wanted to make it in just like pretty monotone colours just so that I can wear it with more things. Like I really loved the colour scheme of this, but obviously it is a bit bright. Like you can't wear green with everything, so I don't really know how it's like best to sort of hold this, but this is what it will look like. And then all of the ribbing I'm going to do in the grey. So the main colour again will be the white, or like in this case this like off pearly white colour. And then yeah, however, I shouldn't be doing this, but I wanted to make like a little practice one because I wasn't sure on how it was going to look mixing the colours together, but I actually think it worked out okay. It'll obviously be a lot more muted. Like this isn't an exact, this is like a bright white. But yeah, it's really soft, and even though obviously the granny squares has like the holes in it, I think that the halo will just make it extra warm, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to wear it more. And I think I said as well, I'm also gonna make the sleeves 1 square thinner so that it's not so flared, so that I can wear this like under a jacket if I need to. Last year I was thinking about writing a pattern for this, and I did have some people ask. I would still like 100% be up for that after I've made this like second sample. So like if anyone's interested, or like even interested in testing, please hit me up, because yeah, I really like this design, and you know, it's just a lot of granny squares. It's a good scrap project as well, I think, because well that's why I made it basically, because I needed to use up like odds and ends of different colours. So this is using, I think it's 5, 1 2 3 4, yeah, 5 different colours, obviously, plus the white is 6. But yeah, the green is just the same green as in the squares, and then just some white buttons to match everything else. But yeah, let me know. I'm so happy that these gloves are finally done now. This is what they look like, obviously just blocking them, and yeah, hopefully they'll be dry in time to pack, but I think it should be fine. But yeah, I think I just get bored making patterns twice, to be honest, and because these are on such a small like circumference, they gave me really bad like hand pain, but it's fine, they're done. It's currently Sunday. I thank God finished the penny gloves by Petite Knit because we go away Wednesday, but I need to pack today because I'm working. So they're currently blocking, but they are on individual blocking mats. So one of these I did knit a bit shorter. I don't know how well you can kind of see with them lined up to each other, but this pair are shorter. So I think in the pattern you have to knit to like 12 centimeters, and on that pair I just knit to 10. This is not great, mainly just because I was worried that I wasn't gonna have enough time, which is ridiculous because it's only like 2 centimeters, but yeah, anyway. So I've been just having a bit of like a chill day today, really. See, I washed my hair, just done my nails, so this is what they look like. I just use like, it's just Gel X extensions. Honestly, I just bought most of the stuff online, like off of Amazon, and like the little charms and stuff. Well, the flowers are sculpted, but like the little charms and pearls and stuff, I honestly got a lot of it on Temu. But yeah, I've been filming some other videos, which is all of this. And yeah, I'm just gonna wrap this video up here because it's been 2 weeks basically. So thank you so much for watching if you made it all the way until the end, and yeah, if you're interested in seeing any more, obviously don't forget to subscribe and all of that stuff. I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Fashion by Beth, and my goals are, touch wood, fingers crossed, in the next one I really want to finish the Onling cardigan. I still haven't made any more progress on that. Make some more progress on the Rowan jumper, the green one, and also the granny squares that I have been making. I'm not sure what piece I'm going to take with me to knit on yet, but I don't think it's going to be the Onling one because I'm terrified of getting it filthy on public transport. But yeah, anyway, we'll see in that one. Yeah, I guess with knitting, like, it's not something really quick, so obviously these have gone over a few videos now, but anyway, I'm just rambling. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.